So, what is a university's soul? I mean, really, what gives an institution its fundamental character, its personality? It's a huge question, and it gets right to the heart of what higher education is all about. So, let's unpack that.
Just think about it for a minute. When you think of a university, what truly defines it? Is it just the name, the beautiful campus, the history? Or is there something deeper at play, kind of like an invisible force that shapes every single thing it does?
Well, it turns out we're not the only ones asking. There's actually a formal framework designed to answer this very question. For this explainer, we're digging into a fascinating document from South Africa's Council on Higher Education, and it gives us a really powerful way to understand how universities tick. And according to this standard, the whole thing boils down to two big ideas that have to work together: institutional identity and institutional agency. I know, they sound a little formal, but trust me, they are the keys to understanding everything. Let's break them down.
All right, first up, let's tackle identity. The easiest way to think about this is to imagine it's the university's master blueprint.
So, institutional identity is the university's core character. It's everything that goes into answering that fundamental question: who are we? And we're not talking about some vague, fuzzy feeling. This is stuff that's formally defined in its vision, its mission, its values, and its overall strategy. I actually love how the source document puts it. It says identity is, quote, what an institution wants to be known for and what it is good at. It's basically its special sauce, the unique value it brings to the world. So yeah, a really helpful way to see it is as the university's DNA. It's the essential code that informs literally everything, from the classes it offers to the research it funds, and even the whole vibe and culture you feel on campus. But let's be real, a blueprint is just a piece of paper if you can't actually build anything with it. And that's where our second big concept comes into play. It's all about turning that identity into real action. This is what's called institutional agency. You can think of it as the get it done part of the equation. It's the university's actual power and ability to bring its identity to life. It's how you turn that big idea of who we are into the tangible reality of what we do. And this isn't just a nice to have. The source is really clear on this. Having strong agency is absolutely critical for any kind of effective leadership. It's what allows the university to take real ownership of its choices and to be accountable for the quality it delivers. So, let's bring our analogy home. If identity is the blueprint, then agency is the power being turned on, the materials being delivered to the construction site, and the freedom for the crew to pick up their tools and actually build something amazing. And speaking of the crew, that leads us perfectly into the third essential piece of this puzzle, the engine that actually drives this whole operation. So here you have it, the three main pillars. You've got identity, which is the blueprint. You've got agency, which is the power to build. And then you've got this third pillar, leadership, management, and governance. That's the crew itself, the people and the systems making sure that blueprint becomes a reality. But it's really important to get this. This framework isn't some simple checklist. The document calls it a reflexive, generative approach. Now that sounds complicated, but all it really means is that it's designed to make universities constantly think hard and deep about who they are and what they're doing. And it does this by asking some really powerful guiding questions. Instead of just demanding compliance, it asks things like, how do you actually define your identity? How do you make sure your big goals show up in your day-to-day operations? It's all about self-reflection and always trying to get better. Okay, so we've got identity, agency, governance. But why does any of this actually matter? For students, for faculty, for society? Let's get to the real-world impact, because this is where it gets good. Here's the bottom line. There is a direct, unbreakable link between a university's sense of self and its ability to act on that, and the quality of education it provides. It's a foundation for literally everything else. And the difference is just stark. When a university has a clear identity and strong agency, you see high-quality, consistent education. You see real social impact. But without those things, well, you risk quality that's all over the map, a total lack of direction, and a feeling of being completely detached from the community it's supposed to serve. The stakes are just incredibly high. And it goes even deeper than that. The framework is explicit that this whole process is designed to push universities to be more than just schools, to be true agents of change, to actually tackle social justice, address wrongs, and drive transformation in society.
So, in the end, this isn't really about bureaucratic rules or boring internal policies. It's about a university being deeply thoughtful, being truly accountable, and, most importantly, being authentic and true to its unique purpose in the world.
Which leaves us with one final question to think about. Whether you're a student, an alum, faculty, staff, what is the true identity, the soul of your university? And maybe the better question is, how do you see it or not see it in action every single day?